Okay, I'm a CPA by training. I love charts like this. It shows where all the poor people are. But in Hong Kong, we have a huge gap between the rich and poor, and you can find poor people everywhere you go. 1 out of 5 people in Hong Kong are living in poverty, and a lot of people are actually living on the poverty line. If the economy is going to get worse, more of them is going to fall under the poverty line. But the good news is there are 1,300 churches in Hong Kong, more than 7-Eleven, and almost 1,000 Christian NGOs in Hong Kong. So even though they are poor in every district, but there's a lot of resources, kingdom resources in our city. Well, Jesus came to the world to show us how to turn the world upside down. How? In Colossians 3:2, he told us, set your minds on things above and not on earthly things. Wait a minute. Is there a difference? Do we think about that every day when we go to work? Do we have the intention to provide healing for people around us, to our coworker, or instead competing with them? Do we have a sharing mentality? Not just talk about it, but do it in action? How humble are we? Are we loving like Jesus? Where is the motivation of our love? Is it because of a response to his love? Do we have a heart of compassion? Do we live like that every day? To think of things above from heaven? Are you able to see others in the eyes of Jesus? When you walk by someone who's picking cardboard paper, when you walk by a homeless person, do you see them in the image of God? In the Bible, Jesus did not see the sick woman. He saw a daughter of God. He did not see an outcast from the society. He saw a child of God. He did not see a sinner. He saw a person in the image of the Creator. So next time when you saw someone in need, ask yourself, what did you see? I think one of the contributions I brought to HKCMP is I bring a lot of charge to this organization, as you see in the flyer. I want to refer to one of them. Well, this is what God has given me as an idea how we serve the poor. We don't only want to serve the poor, we want to transform our community. So you see this beautiful chart. Like anything, we rooted our ministry in prayer. But at the same time, we realize a lot of the people who are poor, like what we share about those 6 items, they have very tangible needs. So in order to reach them, we have to meet their basic need. But once we provide their basic support, at HKCMP, we also partner with churches. You know why? Because your strength is to help the poor people to remove their barriers. Our gospel is very powerful and help these people to be able to stand up on their own. And once these people are able to stand up, we want to help to to build skills for them so they will be able to walk out into the community. Some people are afraid to leave their estate because they don't want people to think who they are. But at the same time, we also want to soften the ground in the community, in the district. We want people like you to know what is going on in their life. They don't want to be poor because they want to be poor. There are situations in their life that cause them to be bound in those situations. Did any one of you guys watch the movie last month called Mak Lo Yan? So if you have watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It talks about a bunch of homeless people that used to live at McDonald's when McDonald's opened 24 hours, but with the pandemic, McDonald's closed at 6. So these people actually have to go out on the street. But we talk about all their story. They all work very hard to try to make a living, but because of the unfortunate circumstances in their life, they were not able. And in the movie, Gok Fu Sing, the main character, he had this really real comment. He actually, in the movie, he played a very successful financial banker before he was homeless. And he told the other person, you know, as an investment banker, I realized the most valuable or high return in investment that required the least contribution is relationship. So think about that. We are right now building relationship with God, with what we learn about Him. And we practice among our community at church. How wonderful will that be if we can extend that relationship to people that we don't know, especially that doesn't know the Lord? Have you heard about this before? KABCD? Well, I invented that. Okay, it's not funny, but okay. I once read a book called When Helping Hurts. It really changed the way I look at helping the poor. The authors share about how to alleviate poverty without hurting the poor and myself. So it's basically talking about don't give the poor the fish, teach them how to fish. So it's a very powerful book, and actually it has a small group study series. So I invite your church to join with us because next year we're going to do this study series with St. Andrew Church. We hope more people will learn about the book. But okay, going back to here. So we believe that in every community, that God already empowered the people in the community to make a change in the community. There are a lot of resources in the community, including the church. So the role of the church in the community is to mobilize the resources and capacity and to call for a means for the community transformation, build a relationship, and be a blessing for the community. Do you know what it means to be a blessing to each other? I'm sure you do, right? You do this every Sunday. But how are you going to be a blessing for the community, for the building that you live in, to the guard that works in your building? How does that people know that you are one of Jesus' followers? To the cleaning lady in your building, to the shuttle bus driver, to the bus driver, to the 7-Eleven guy that works across from your church? How are you going to give your gifting and your time to be a mentor? You are also privileged to be in this community. Discipleship is a norm. You have someone that loves you, that journey with you. But for a lot of these kids, they have really no one to go to do service trip or to be advocacy. With what you hear today, I hope you can go to your Facebook and share about what you heard and let more people understand what's going on. Financially, we have a relief fund. Actually, at HKCMP, we started a relief fund a couple months ago. Basically, no question asked. If the underprivileged, unemployed person is going through a financial crisis that is referred by a pastor, then we will give out the money. Because poor people really need their dignity to be kept. Mission is not a monthly event for you guys. It should be a part of your lifestyle. Live your spiritual life naturally and live your natural life spiritually. So my prayer is, pray God will give us a consuming love for Him that will spur us to do His work in Hong Kong. Thank you that our love for Him is capable of turning the world upside down. Thank you.